April 8, 2012, the Kangerlussuaq Glacier region of western Greenland stretched endlessly in every direction, a landscape so remote that the nearest settlement lay 200 miles away. Here, where temperatures rarely climbed above freezing, even in summer, Dr. Elias Sorensen was about to make the discovery that would cost him everything. At 34, Sorensen had already spent 11 years studying polar ice formations. His colleagues at the Danish Arctic Institute knew him as a meticulous researcher with an almost supernatural ability to read the stories written in frozen water. But Sorensen had an obsession that set him apart from other glaciologists: melt tunnels. These natural conduits, carved by flowing meltwater deep within glaciers, fascinated him beyond reason. Recent satellite imaging had revealed something unprecedented: a massive vertical shaft the team had nicknamed the Blue Maw. The thermal imagery showed walls that appeared perfectly smooth, almost mirror-like, leading into what might be the deepest natural ice cavern system on Earth. "The readings are unlike anything I've seen," Sorensen recorded in his audio log. "This isn't just a melt shaft, it's a gateway into something extraordinary. We have to go down there." Sorensen assembled his team with characteristic precision. Ingrid Larsen, 28, was an ice dynamics specialist known for her climbing expertise. Jonas Gvist, 31, was the geophysicist whose ground-penetrating radar had first detected anomalous voids beneath the Blue Maw. Dr. Sarah Chen, 35, would monitor air quality and atmospheric conditions in the cave system. When the team reached the coordinates on April 9th, what they found defied their expectations entirely.
"Elias, you need to see this." Larsen's voice crackled over the radio. "The opening, it's not like the satellite images at all." The Blue Maw stretched before them, a narrow vertical crack in the glacier surface, barely 3 feet wide. But the walls glowed with an ethereal blue light so pure and intense it seemed almost supernatural. Ice formations this color were rare, typically found only in glaciers thousands of years old, compressed under unimaginable pressure. Base camp was established 50 meters from the opening. Communication protocols were tested and confirmed with headquarters in Nuuk. Everything proceeded by the book. "Atmospheric readings normal at surface level," Chen reported. "Temperature holding steady at -18 Celsius. We're good to descend." Using specialized polar climbing equipment, ice screws, dynamic ropes, and redundant safety systems, the team began their descent. Sorensen went first, his headlamp cutting through the ethereal blue glow. What they found 40 meters down changed everything they thought they knew about glacier formation. "The tunnels, they're not just smooth, they're geometric," Sorensen whispered into his recorder. "Perfect curves, like they were machined. The ice formations here are unlike anything in the literature. It's as if the meltwater followed some kind of pattern." "Getting some unusual readings on the GPR," Kvist's voice echoed strangely in the confined space. "There are chambers down here, big ones, and the echo patterns, they don't match what we should be seeing." As they descended deeper, the temperature dropped beyond normal parameters. At 80 meters depth, their instruments recorded -32 Celsius, far colder than surface readings predicted. The air itself carried a metallic tang that none of them could explain. At 120 meters depth, they reached what Sorensen would later describe as the cathedral, a massive chamber with walls that curved up into darkness beyond their light's reach. In the center, a perfectly circular pool of ice stretched across the cavern floor, its surface so smooth it reflected their headlamps like black glass. But it was what Sorensen found embedded in the eastern wall that changed everything. "There's organic material here," he breathed, his voice filled with wonder. "Preserved in the ice. It looks like some kind of microbial colony, but the formation patterns,
I've never seen anything like this. We need samples. Elias, I'm seeing stress fractures in the wall around that area, Larson warned. Maybe we should... Just a small core sample. The preservation here is incredible. This could rewrite our understanding of life in extreme environments. Against protocol, Sorensen began drilling. The sound of his ice auger echoed strangely in the chamber, the reverberations lasting far longer than physics should allow. The team worked in tense silence, aware they were pushing boundaries that perhaps shouldn't be crossed. At 3:47 p.m. local time, everything went wrong. Did anyone else feel that? Chen's voice was tight with concern. The floor just shifted. There's air movement here, Larson said, her breath visible in the suddenly colder air. Where's it coming from? The GPR is going crazy, Quist reported, his instruments beeping frantically. The readings, it's like the entire structure just changed shape. Then came the sound, a deep, resonant crack that seemed to originate from everywhere at once. Their lights revealed hairline fractures racing across the cavern ceiling like lightning frozen in ice.
Everyone up! Now! Move! Sorensen shouted. But it was too late. As they rushed toward their ascent ropes, a section of the tunnel's ceiling collapsed with a sound like thunder. Tons of ice sealed their exit, and their headlamps revealed a wall of compressed ice blocks where their escape route had been moments before. Communication with the surface died immediately. The team was alone, 120 meters beneath the Greenland ice sheet, with no way out and limited supplies. For the first 12 hours, they maintained hope. They had emergency rations for 5 days, backup communication equipment, and Quist's ground-penetrating radar to help locate alternative exits. But as the hours passed, their situation became increasingly surreal. The atmospheric readings don't make sense, Chen recorded in her log. Oxygen levels are fluctuating in cycles, rising and falling every few hours like the cave is breathing. The temperature continued dropping, reaching -40 Celsius by their second day. More disturbing were the sounds, low-frequency vibrations that pulsed through the ice around them. Rhythmic, almost mechanical, but with an organic quality that made their teeth ache. I'm following the vibrations, Quist announced on their third day trapped. They're coming from the northern passage. It's like something's down there, something big. Jonas, don't go alone. We need to stick together, Larson pleaded. I'll just take a quick look. The sound, it's almost like machinery. That was the last time anyone spoke to Jonas Quist. When he failed to return after 2 hours, Sorensen and Larson went searching. They found his camera 200 meters down a narrow passage, still recording, but covered in a thin layer of frost that shouldn't have formed in those conditions. The footage showed Jonas walking confidently down the tunnel, following the mysterious vibrations. Then, without warning, the camera tilted upward, capturing a glimpse of the tunnel ceiling. What it recorded in those final seconds defied explanation. Patterns in the ice that seemed to pulse with their own light, geometric shapes that hurt to look at directly. On April 12th, 3 days after the collapse, Dr. Elias Sorensen made his final transmission using the team's emergency satellite communicator. His voice was hoarse, strained with exhaustion and something deeper, a fear that went beyond physical danger.
This is Dr. Elias Sorensen, Expedition Leader, Blue Maw Research Team. We are trapped approximately 120 meters beneath the glacier surface. Jonas is missing. The ice is not what we thought it was. It moves at night. We can hear it shifting, changing. The patterns on the walls, they're not natural formations. They're organized, purposeful. The temperature has dropped to -45. Our equipment is failing.
Sarah thinks we have maybe 6 hours of battery power left. But that's not why I'm recording this. If anyone receives this transmission, if anyone finds our research notes, listen carefully. Do not return to these coordinates. Do not attempt another expedition to the Blue Maw. The ice here is not dead. It's not even truly ice. It's something else. Something that's been waiting beneath the glacier for God knows how long. Tell my wife Anna that The transmission cut to static at 11:34 p.m. local time. Search and rescue operations began immediately, but what the teams found defied all explanation. The Blue Maw was gone. Not collapsed, not hidden, completely absent. The glacier surface showed no signs of ever having been disturbed. Thermal imaging detected faint voids deep beneath the ice, but no heat signatures, no signs of life. Over the following weeks, multiple expeditions attempted to locate the lost team. Ground-penetrating radar confirmed the existence of cavern systems beneath the glacier, but every attempt to access them failed. The ice had sealed itself, leaving no trace of human intrusion. Dr. Elias Sorensen, Ingrid Larsen, Jonas Kist, and Dr. Sarah Chen were officially declared lost on May 15, 2012. Their bodies were never recovered. Local Inuit guide Uki Thompson later told investigators, "That place, we always knew it was wrong. The old stories speak of ice that thinks, ice that waits. My grandfather told me never to hunt near those coordinates. He said the ice there dreams, and when it wakes, it's hungry." In the years since the expedition's disappearance, satellite monitoring has revealed disturbing patterns. Aerial photography shows strange, symmetrical depressions forming near the last known coordinates, geometric shapes that appear overnight and vanish within days. Thermal imaging suggests the ice continues to shift from within, as if something vast moves beneath the glacier surface. Local seismic stations occasionally record low-frequency vibrations emanating from the area, the same rhythmic pulses that Sorensen's team described in their final logs.
Most unsettling, ground-penetrating radar surveys have detected what appear to be perfectly preserved cavern systems beneath the glacier, systems that match exactly the descriptions in Sorensen's research notes, systems that seem to expand and contract in slow, regular cycles, as if they're breathing. What happened to Dr. Elias Sorensen and his team beneath the Greenland ice sheet remains one of polar exploration's greatest mysteries. The glacier has kept its secrets, sealing them beneath tons of ancient ice that continues to shift and move in patterns that defy conventional understanding. The Blue Maw may be gone, but somewhere beneath the glaciers of Greenland, something continues to wait in the frozen darkness. On clear nights, researchers monitoring the region report seeing strange lights beneath the ice, blue glows that pulse with an almost organic rhythm. The ice remembers, and somewhere deep below, it's still breathing.